Welcome back, everybody, to our What's Up World series.
Hello.
And today we have Rebecca with us.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so for those of you that are joining it for the first time, What's Up World is a series that talks about what's happening in the world and also what's our take on it and a perspective from our registered counselor, Rebecca. All right, so before we can start today's episode, just want to address a news that has been over the social media, which is about our domestic trade and cost of living minister, Dato Seri Salahuddin, that just passed away after a surgery. So it was just, over the night or like within 2 days, he went for surgery, and then the very next day, after the surgery, he just passed away after a few hours.
Right, because of brain hemorrhage, right?
Yes, correct. So, do you know about brain hemorrhage, Rebecca?
As far as I understand, it's like internal bleeding of the brain. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So it'll be bleeding in or outside, like circulating.
The surrounding.
Yeah,
of it,
correct. And like, well, I did like read up about brain hemorrhage, right? And it is very near to a stroke.
Right.
So stroke is a category in brain hemorrhage.
Okay.
Yeah. So which is pretty common, especially in this world, like right now in the current era. Stroke is, I think, the very next thing that's after heart attack.
Right, and people are getting younger and younger. Yeah.
Correct. Talking about younger and younger, actually a few years back, like one of my advisor, he got a stroke as well.
I see.
And like he shared with me that he's in his 40s. So he shared with me the youngest stroke patient that time was a 17-year-old kid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that was because of just straining himself.
Right.
Sitting in front of the computer.
For so long.
Yeah. So, without physical exercise and like straining your brain is just keep on being stressed. And that can actually cause brain hemorrhage or stroke.
Right.
Yeah. So why I'm talking about this is also to address that stress and overworking could be a factor that it doesn't like occur in a minute.
Yeah.
It's a prolonged thing that keep on attacking your brain, attacking your body, and it causes your internal stress, which could lead to brain hemorrhage or internal bleeding, these things. Yeah. So regarding this, right, I think it's pretty relevant because today's topic will be discovering about how to release stress. Yeah, so I think right now in 2023, people are into the hustle culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common or it is being practiced that you need to be a part of the hustle culture. And I highly think that while you are in the hustle culture, you should take a break and like have fun a little.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why our topic will be covering about travels.
Yes. Yes.
Are you excited for this?
If I get to travel after this, sure, But yeah, I'm a bit excited
Travel
also.
back home.
Yeah, travel back home. I need to travel back home for state elections. That's as far as I'll go.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's happening
In
a few
2-3
months.
weeks, perhaps. Yeah.
From Penang.
Okay.
All right. So pick
see.
your topic or news.
I think is, let me see what size I like.
What size I like? Yeah, there's like pretty a lot of sizes.
I think
over
I
here.
like this one.
Okay. Let's see. Whether are you lucky or not? Okay, so the first news that we'll be covering will be about 10 affordable ways to relieve stress and unwind. Okay, so this is actually an article from the US News and World Report, which basically talks about what are the activities or ways that you can relieve your stress as well as unwind.
Right.
And the best part is that it's affordable and cheap.
Nice.
Yeah. So, okay. something that you can do at home is taking a bubble bath or aromatherapy shower, and then meditate, go for a walk. Screen time limits. I totally agree with the screen time limits.
Screen time limits.
Yeah. Have some tea. I think for me, right, having tea with a friend is much more stress
Soothing.
relieving. Soothing, correct. Face masks at home, organize your space, make your place clean, play a game and dance it out. So it is important to find out and explore what works for you to relax and manage your stress. So just want to understand from you, why do you think that managing stress is vital in having a good mental health?
Well, just relating to the news that we just shared earlier, stress is not just related to mental health, it's also related to physical health, overall well-being. And we are always under stress. So imagine us as like a volcano of sorts, and the more pressure that you feel inside and also from the outside world, if you reach a certain limit, you will explode. And then technically, if you look at a volcano, it destroys a lot of things. So the idea here is not to get there in the first place. And there's two types of stresses. One stress is external stress. So things that happen around us that is beyond our control. Like for example, an economical crash, could be political scenes changing that affects us. It could also, another type of stress would be internal stress, where we have personal expectations, personal demands, family expectations, and all that. And that can really build up our, what I call a stress reservoir. So it's very important in mental health, because if you can't release these stresses, you're just like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And you're going to explode anytime.
Yes.
So that it's very important.
Yes. So how can one person be aware that they're about to explode?
Oh, okay. So it's different for everyone. But my rule of thumb that works for most is, if you're starting to act differently from how you usually would. Like if you're an extrovert and suddenly you don't want to see your friends anymore, or the other way around where you're an introvert and you try to force yourself to do things that you usually don't, which is to, talk to a lot of people and stuff like that. Those are coping mechanisms mostly. Okay. And once that happens, you probably might want to check yourself a little bit.
That's a very, very interesting fact, because I actually do that too. Like I tend to I love to go out and talk, right? And then when I just isolate myself. Good thing is that I have great friends that would ask me out. They'd be like, no, you gotta come out. You gotta come out. So that's when I realized, when I come out and then I feel happier, that's when I realized that, something was wrong. Something was off. I think that's a very good input, actually.
Which is great. Friends play a very big role too. So make sure that you're surrounded by people and don't isolate yourself, especially in times of need.
Right. So before we go to the next news, what is your favorite activity to relieve stress?
I don't have an answer for this, sadly.
Many answers, is it?
No, it's like asking me what my hobby is. I have no idea what my hobby is. But currently, I like to learn things. So I have also learned the art of learning things just because, not because you need it for something.
Okay.
So I guess my stress relief now is watching Netflix, and then I love watching interior design shows. And then you're just like, this color brightens up the room, that kind of thing. And it's a happy thing, because all you see is very dingy places becoming really, really nice living spaces, and it makes you happy.
Understand the transformation.
Correct.
Yes. Maybe that's because you're also shifting house.
Oh yes. That's why. Maybe that's why I'm thinking about what to do with my furniture.
Correct. IKEA. Go to IKEA. Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
Okay, I'm going to take the longest one.
Okay.
So this is...
Okay. All right. So, oh, this is interesting because we talked about what could relieve stress, right?
Mhm.
And these are 25 best places to visit in Malaysia.
Woo.
All right. So, actually, it's a lot. It's super, super a lot, but just gonna cover like the most common one. I think something that you're gonna be super, super proud. Penang Island.
Yes, please come to my island, but don't come too often because it's so crowded.
It is. It's super jam now, just like KL.
Yes.
All right. So moving on, Langkawi. I think that's a known thing, right? Cameron Highlands, as well as Taman Negara National Park.
Nice.
Actually, I want to talk to you about Taman Negara National Park.
Oh, okay.
Have you went there before?
I don't remember. I think once maybe.
Ah,
Yeah,
I see.
once.
I've been wanting to go to Taman Negara National Park. So anyway, so how do you think holidays specifically, holidays promote better mental health to a person?
Oh, it's a stop and reset. So something that is completely out of your routine and it's not a necessity at all. So if you go, you can literally drop everything that you're currently doing now and just enjoy yourself. That helps. Yeah.
But you know, just now you mentioned drop everything and just go. Some people, for some
They
people,
have to work while
Yeah,
they travel. Yeah.
correct. And it is very hard for them to drop everything. Because then they would be having the pressure and the anxiety about what's going to happen if I'm not here.
Right.
Who's going to take care of these things when
Right.
I go away? So what is your 2 cents or what is your advice to people that does that?
That's a very great question. So it's learning how to set personal boundaries because sometimes it can be company imposed where you have to handle these things at a certain period of time. Those can be shifted, sure, work around your holiday based on that. But sometimes it's a personal expectation, you know, like if you're not there, then your team is going to crumble. But in actual fact, it may not necessarily be the case. Yeah, you might be important, but there also needs to be a certain level of trust as well that your team will be able to cover for you. So it's setting personal mental boundaries. So if you really need to work, that's okay. Maybe during the working time, during your holiday time, I mean, maybe set maybe 1 hour or 2 hours where it's just focus work. So you can just focus on it completely. Then after that, the rest of the time, it's just being present in the moment.
Correct.
Yeah, you can be checking your messages and stuff. I think that's no issue, but have to learn how to be present and enjoy what is around you. Yeah, it's a mental tune off, if you will. Yeah.
Understand. So what's your favorite place in Malaysia?
My favorite is Penang, obviously.
Penang is home. So apart from home, where?
I do like our islands though. I went to Redang.
Okay.
And Tioman. But I like the beach so it's very soothing. I just sat in the sea water and just stayed there the whole day. So it's kind of nice.
I love beach too. Yes. So calming.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Third one. Okay. All right. Okay, talking about holidays as well. The most difficult time of the year. The holidays and mental health. So this is an article by Next Step Solution, discusses the challenges that the holiday season can bring to mental health and provides suggestion for managing them. So why are they talking about holiday season being difficult? Is that due to various factors for people such as increased stress, financial pressures, family conflicts, as well as feeling of loneliness or grief.
Yeah.
So this article highlights the importance of self-compassion and not comparing oneself to others, as social media and societal pressures can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy or loneliness during the holidays.
Right.
So basically, how can we help those to prioritize self-care and mental well-being during the holidays and by not being pressured by the society as well as social media?
Yeah, I think this applies throughout, not just the holidays. Is that especially in Asian culture, right? There's one thing that we learned when we were younger is that if we do something for ourselves, it's selfish. That may not necessarily be the case actually, because if you look at how airplanes, they always make their announcements, it's always telling the mother to do safety precautions on themselves first before their baby. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to take care of other people. Yeah, so self-care is important in that regard, where you need to feel yourself first. And especially during the holidays, right? There's a lot of stress because there's a lot of comparison that is, you know, running around. And also, unfortunately, in Asian culture, it's a lot about face. You know, the more money you have, the more places you go, the more achievements you have, then you have more reputation. But sometimes we don't realize that perhaps that's not really something that makes us happy. So it's okay to just stop. And the holidays is the best time, especially the end of the year, because that's when people come out with like New Year's resolutions. You really figure out what you want, you know, and prioritize that. Having one day to yourself once a month, I don't think it's very selfish. And it can just be very small. It doesn't have to be like a very huge thing. Yeah.
And I think you mentioned like they just need to think about themselves and they don't need to always think about others. So it's more on like reflection. They have to reflect on what have they done and what can they, is it okay for them to do this for themselves?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So just one more thing is that how about those people that get jealous when they see their peers or friends going overseas for holidays? So how can we, or what is the root cause for that?
Well, it like we mentioned earlier, it will require self-reflection. You're jealous because you don't have the thing. So you kind of need to not only be wallowing in your misery in that sense of I'm not having the thing. You need to ask yourself why not having the thing bugs you so much. So it could be a few reasons. Let's say going on holidays, right? It could be the fact that you're aiming for financial freedom and you don't have it yet. Or it could be your life is so boring that you want just an adventure and you don't get that. You know, sometimes it could also be the community that they have when they go on holiday. Yeah, then you feel like, how come I don't have as many friends, or I'm not as close to my family? Yeah, those many other reasons lah, but these are the few that I could think of. Yeah, so it's actually the why, not really the what.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very nice of you to say that. The why, not the what.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, last one.
Yes, the smallest piece.
Smallest piece.
That means it's folded many times. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and it's the shortest.
Yes.
Okay, so this is 30 romantic honeymoon resorts in Malaysia for an intimate holiday away from crowds. I really think that a lot of people like to come to Malaysia for holidays, especially the overseas.
It's so hot though.
Yeah, right now. That's why my voice is like this because of the weather. Okay, so how do these destinations provide an intimate holiday experience, and how can taking a break from work or crowd once in a while benefit our mental health?
Yeah, well, I think it's quite aligned with what we just spoke.
Yeah.
It's really stopping and then you're going to somewhere foreign where there's new experiences, new adventures. And I think it's even more fulfilling when you have someone with you that will want to do these things, and you create new memories that when future stress comes in, you can recall all these memories and be like, you know, I had good times in life, and this is just a phase that I need to go through. Let's work towards the next new memory that we can make together lah. Yeah.
And how about like, what is the role that a holiday or vacation play to a couple?
Oh, okay. So couples, right? If you look at the lifespan of a romantic relationship, the first 6 months and if you will, up to about 2 years is always the honeymoon phase. So you will want to go for fancy dinners, go for every single thing out there, and just want to, you know, stick to each other all the time. And then once that passes, that's when you go into the commitment phase where it's just everyday life, you know, like I'm gonna eat like chap fan or something like that, you know, very simple things. And sometimes it can get very stale. Especially in very long-term relationships where perhaps they are not ready to get married yet. Then people stay in relationships 6-7 years. You need to find things that excite you, and you need to spark, you know, that passion again every now and then. So destinations like that helps. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So that will be the end of our episode 2.
Yes. And I think the next episode we're going to talk about relationships as well, right?
Correct.
Okay. So stay tuned.
Right now, many people are looking for work-life balance when choosing a career to have a fulfilling and happy life. In Nestspace, we are a gym for mind that empower your mental fitness to excel in your career. Join our classes to learn from industry expert, career coaches, clinical psychologists, and registered counselors that give insight on the career tips, career growth, salary, and self-growth. Check out at Nestspace today. Attend our classes for a career blowout.